Hello, MrIronBill here, back with another video. This video will be about heroic strikes. Today the modifier was arc, singe, and included a modifier called glass. Now this one basically cut your shields in half, and so you really feel your damage pretty quickly. In this case, in a situation where ordinarily the two of us would have been able to hang in there and take some of those shots, pretty much got wiped out. Obviously, any strike that includes arc damage from the enemies is going to be a lot more dangerous. Did two other strikes, Savin Song and Garden World. And they were, Garden World in particular was pretty darn rough. The boss could one-shot you easily from any clear openings, so you had to be very careful about that. Play from cover, keep the ads down. In this particular case, this one's not too tough. But what we were doing was we were chaining our supers. So as soon as you got it, you used it. Pure and simple. This control room situation here, you're going to have ads popping in from these doors and spawning from the floors. And you're going to see that we are indeed going to utilize our supers whenever we have them. Now I just used mine a little while ago. You see I'm building up. Waiting for the ads to spawn here and toss a grenade down. That's going to knock them down. Using masterwork weapons to generate orbs here very quickly. It's trusty Mananan there, by the way. And by all means, make sure you're carrying arc weapons when you come in here. Okay, there is the big guy. Don't waste time. Use your heavy liberally. And angling for a good shot, and he's already dead. I see the orbs down here and decide to pick those up. I now have my super, so as soon as the boss pops in, I go again. Now I may only get this one boss, but it's an important one. And that I prioritized it because it was the strongest enemy. Now I guess the opposing strategy to that would be go ahead and take the other ads down and leave the boss for your teammates, but I don't know. I don't think the teammates are going to struggle to pick up the trash mob. It's going to be the boss that's going to be the problem. Just how I view it, others may see that differently. We've cleared the room. Again, clean up on ammo and orbs. And out the door we go. Now pretty much straight to the boss. Well, no, wait, we have one more area to clear here. The Shrieker is a priority here, but you also have to watch these Thrall that explode because they will get you. You see one Sins was really all it took there. And I think one of my teammates there was using a Darcy. I'm pretty sure that's what he had on. And Darcy also makes short work of bosses. Now I'm kiting this guy around. The other teammates don't realize this guy's up here and suddenly one says, hey, there's one behind us. And I didn't call it out because I felt like they were over on the other side of the map. It wasn't a worry to them, but apparently they saw that differently. Led with an arc grenade there. Pulse grenades are very strong in this heroic strike list. And my buddy went up and used his super. We have the ogre now. A couple of rockets should pretty much do it. That along with the sniper.
Stabilized, kind of. But the Valkyrie is ready.
Just moving about here to keep from being taken down by the ads on the side. This knight has slipped up on me. But you notice how quickly the recovery happens. You may lose your energy fast, but the recovery is quick as well. Now, I've just gotten my super. Excuse me. I'm going to raise him. Now, the reason I raised him before I threw the super, and it's important to remember this, is that if I had thrown my super then raised him, he would have missed out on all the orbs. If you're dead, you don't get orbs. So it's very important if you have the opportunity to raise a teammate before you throw a super that you do that. so that you're able to continue your chain on your supers. Now I've grabbed the javelin, taken some damage, so I back off for a second. Still have javelin to kill, so I'm going to make the most of that, and pretty much cleaned up all the ads on that side. Ready to head out. Now here we are at the final boss. Strategy here is mainly just don't get caught out in the open. Now, my buddy's idea was to use Darcy on the worm, but the problem with that is the worm stays closed most of the time. So really, rockets are probably about your best bet on this. And you just lob them up there, cluster bombs, hope they do their work. I always aim a little high because the clusters will then drop into the crit spot. So I'll either hit the crit or I'll drop clusters into it. And you see we're working him down pretty quickly. Fortunately, he doesn't shoot out arc damage. It's mostly solar, I believe. He's about to close up. That's one of the few opportunities one would have to use the Darcy. And the thing about the Darcy is you have to be on target for a few seconds for the full effect to proc, and that can be problematic. Alright, now this area back here is relatively safe in that you have cover from direct fire. Enemies will chase you back here like this one just did, but I had a super loaded and ready, and I'm going to take as many of these witches as I can get on this super. There's one clean. I'm working on the other, but I can't really go into the fog, knowing that any damage I take is going to quickly kill me. So I back off and work with the team to bring it down. Now that green glow means that the worm is about to cut across the arena. But typically, and I've never seen him do it, the worm doesn't come back into this area. So if you're back here, not only do you have protection, but the worm will not squash you back there. So now here we go. We're on our next damage phase. Really all we needed to do now is get a hold of a Valkyrie and hit him, but we've damaged him so much he's skipped that phase. If we'd had the Valkyrie a little quicker, or if I'd managed to get rockets on us a little bit quicker, we might have been able to finish it there. But as it was, we're now going to have to go through the ogre phase here. Now at this point, you see I get rushed. I back off. I put the grenade behind him, which was a mistake. I should have tossed it at my own feet and baited him into it. But all said and done, no real harm done. Able to put fire on the heads of enemies up here. Of course, my buddies are Rajinka-like players in that they go right into the fray. You have to be careful with that on a heroic strike like this. If you don't keep at least one person back, if you all go in hard like that, you could wind up wiping and having to restart that level all over again. So that's the end of that. And all that's left is for us to collect our loot. And here it is. All in all, I would say heroic strikes are pretty tough this week, depending upon which one you get. Not impossible, but if you use your weapons right and play with your teams and coordinate your supers, shouldn't have any problem. This is IronBill signing out. Too old to grind.